So hello, fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And it only took about, 6 years for Steve Wozniak to go from saying that he would buy Facebook at its IPO at whatever price it came out at, in order for him to deactivate his account. Well, they said he closed the account, but you can't close your account as far as I know unless they've changed it in 2018. And now this year, sometime around recently, he came out saying that for many people, they should get off of Facebook. So I find it really, really strange for him to be so gung-ho and then do a complete 180-degree turn, his back on Facebook, and make it out to be this villain that, people should step away from, like he did. And I guess he's no longer on the board of it or whatever. Maybe he doesn't have any shares in it, I don't know. But it's all very interesting, because at the end of the day, what has Facebook done? Oh, I know there's all that stuff about that company that it allowed to use its information, a small amount of information really, that they went beyond what Facebook allowed them to do, and they pretended that they were another company as far as I know, and they went way beyond what Facebook initially intended them to do. But of course, if everything is free, then you're the product, right? That's what people say about Facebook. It's so horrible, you're the product. Well, TV is free. All you need is an antenna in order to get the basic television in most places. Radio is free, so I guess you're the product. Oh yeah, but you don't put your information into radio and TV to say where you work and who's your wife and who's your spouse. Okay, so don't put it into Facebook. But even if you did, let's say you did put it into Facebook, how much is Facebook making off of you? $5 a month, a year? $15 a month, a year, US? And people say yeah, Facebook should share that money with you. Are you really that badly off that you need $5 or $15 a month? Is that where most of us are? I think most people who need that amount of money and it really is useful to them, they're probably not on Facebook, because they probably can't afford a smartphone or a data plan or even Wi-Fi. And if they can't afford that, then they're probably not worth much to Facebook. Really, let's think about this. And with respect to free TV and free radio, you don't think that Nielsen, the people who do ratings and so on, you don't think that they're making money off of knowing which programs attract what demographic of people, and they're selling that information to advertisers? Why do you think the Super Bowl, people pay so much money to have an ad on the Super Bowl, and I'm sure they custom their ads to certain groups of people who they know are watching the Super Bowl? You're a product to everybody. Why do you think people jump through so many hoops to be in the Android app store or the iPhone app store? Because they have an opportunity to put themselves in front of people who are going to play their stuff, use their apps, and make money from them. And are you upset or are we upset supposedly that Apple is using us, that ABC or whatever network in the US is using us, or whatever radio channel or TV channel in whatever part of the world you get that stuff for free? Are you upset that people are selling the information for whatever show it is or program it is that you watch or listen to, that they're selling you to the advertisers? No. People only seem to care about this selling thing on Facebook or manipulating its users about Facebook. They don't care about it when it comes to YouTube. They don't care about it when it comes to Twitter. They don't care about it when it comes to radio, free radio, and TV, even cable TV. You are a product. I am sure that MMA, their ads are geared to a specific group of people. So even if you're watching, let's say, free MMA on cable TV, the people are selling. They're selling the demographics of someone who would watch that to advertisers. And it is just, to me, it's so frustrating, this kind of alarmist concept and thinking that we have when it comes to Facebook and they're selling our information. When, for example, with respect to the US government and Snowden, I don't think they stopped any of the surveillance that they're doing. The US government is surveilling its citizens as much, well, I don't want to say as much as China, but they probably have a lot more money for infrastructure and for storage and for data mining and for AI interpretation of that data than the Chinese government does. And if you are a US citizen and you are communicating with someone outside of the US, even the CIA can get involved in that call. That's what happened with respect to Donald Trump and the people in his campaign who were talking to people in Russia. They could even tape the calls and they could go over them and store them and have them there for however long, because it's a foreigner that an American citizen is talking to. So now you have much more leeway to save that information. And people are upset with the Chinese government potentially storing information from TikTok. They're upset with the Chinese government. They're upset with Facebook. And we go out. We park our cars wherever we want to. And there are law enforcement people driving around with cameras and software looking at car tags and storing that information about where you've gone and how many tickets you have and all this sort of history about you. Every time you go to the mall, anytime you go anywhere, they're just police cars trolling these parking lots, sucking up all of this information. And in this alarmist era that we're living in, we are worried about Huawei and TikTok sucking up information to give it to the Chinese government, when the US government never stopped what they're doing and probably are increasing the amount of surveillance that they're doing, especially under Trump. And people are talking about Facebook. They're worried about Facebook. That's what Steve Wozniak is concerned about. This app that you are not forced to put any of your information on. He's not worried about YouTube using your demographic information. He's not worried about Twitter. He's not worried about any of the apps that he probably uses on his iPhone, sucking up information. He's just worried about the one, just the one that the newspapers and the TV write about. And they write about it because other people write about it. It's like with respect to Donald Trump. That's why he got all that free press. He got free, any press in a way is good press. So he got all of that coverage for free because he had high ratings. He was already on TV, so everybody knew about him. So now this television personality is running for government or for the presidency. So yeah, let's give him more free press. And it's the opposite though with respect to China and with respect to Facebook. They're the bad guys. So story after story after story. It is ridiculous. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Steve Wozniak, get back on Facebook. This is blown all the way out of proportion. As a billionaire, let me tell you, everybody is watching everything that you do. If you don't want to be surveilled by the paparazzi, then give away all your money and become a nobody. And even then, they'll still follow you because you were famous. And you are famous. So I don't know what Steve thinks that he just accomplished by coming off of Facebook and then bad-mouthing it. which just gives it more attention, which is negative in the short run, but positive in the long run. Anyway, peace. Be nice to each other.